We are a niche brand, so then by no way we can explain ourselves as being a competitor of the major brands. So we are just a complement to the market. So we feel an opening, a niche where some others do not have the time or the passion, or they do not see that is the marketing or potential, the selling potential big enough to invest in such a case. And so we are just there, in the middle of, let's say, a bigger brand like Omega, or also Panera that is much bigger than us. So we are turning around this brand by just finding the place in between where we are pretty lonesome. You don't have one type of collector, because at the end, the people in Asia are younger than the people in Europe. And the people that buy Graham in the US are middle-aged, so then between 30 and 45. So the age is a bit different depending on the countries or the region. What makes, however, constant is that in most cases, the people I met personally and I had a talk with were entrepreneurs, in mind at least. Entrepreneurs means people that have that take risk in their life, doing their own business. Can be small business, can be medium-sized business, can be big business, but they have all a certain mindset that makes them a bit different than the others. And by that, they can wear a watch as well that looks a bit different than the rest. So this is where I find most of my customers. I wish he would. I cannot say that. And I've been on his grave in in Westminster Abbey, because his grave and his body still lies there. And I tried to communicate, but I got no answers. But I think the spirit is there. The good is that the English are keeping a lot of materials, and we can read what he was saying. We can read what he wrote. We can read what has been the people around him doing and saying and writing, which means that at a certain point we know about him a bit more than just taking a nice painting from a very old period and just trying to imagine things. This is much beyond that. And so I think George Graham was a man that was extremely open-minded, interested by arts, interested by plays. For example, Shakespeare he was crazy about Shakespeare. He was collecting engravings as well. We found that he was interested in finance others' projects if it was needed. He was, I think, interested in technique. He wanted to have contact with the astronomers because he found out that it was for him rewarding to work with them and for them. And so then when we feel everything like this, I feel very comfortable with that kind of profile. It's very close to mine and of my people working with me. Well, this is something, that we are working on as well, but it takes a long time to become a heavily desired brand. So we don't talk about collectors now. We just talk about the secondary market. So that this is a market now that is a bit too early to us. I think we found out that the level of understanding of the brand is not large enough to ensure a big secondary market. But that's just a question of time. I think in the next 5 years they will grow up, especially on some of our limited editions. So we did some limited editions. We still already feel a certain move from the second market. Again, this is a bit early for the brand now. We have been working on that brand again as it was dormant before, so for about 15 years. And I think it takes about 20 to 30 years for a brand to become a real value on the second market and perhaps to the collectors. It takes some more time for us.